And that's a win. Breggy Bomb. He lit the place up. He showed up in a big way. That's right. The main course was spaghetti tonight. Arrighetti getting his first win, and Alex Bregman staying hot. The kid from Albuquerque. Hit the intro, Yonder Diaz. Let's go.
Yainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talkstros. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Go and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go ahead and check out the Locked On Astros podcast. Go and make us your first listen, Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, and go and subscribe to us. And today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Did you go to Prize Pick on your app and go ahead and pick Alex Bregman to hit a home run today? You might have won. You might have won your bet today. The easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use the code all lowercase LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. And Brett, when you're not cheering for Bregman hitting bombs left and right and driving in runs and having a better time right now, where can they find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Back to the Bullpen on X and on Instagram. They can also find me at Stros411 on X and on Facebook, where I'm always positive, always Stros. I'm super positive that I love this type of game, Eric. This game from the beginning to the end is the type of game that the Astros, I think, have been on the brink on for quite some time. They've been getting a lot of hits. They've had solid pitching performances. They've had opportunities to score lots of runs. They've narrowly missed home runs, where this team is hitting a lot of home runs, but guys like Bregman just not really doing it. And I don't know if you caught his comments after the game, but Todd Callis asked Bregman what changed or what was the difference today. And he said, well, come in and off the road. He said, my wife actually was gracious enough to let me go up to the cages at 11 o'clock and get work in. And he goes, I found something. He found something. And I wonder if it's talking about he found the headband on the floor of the batting cages where he was at. That headband he was rocking. He needs to rock that again tomorrow night. But he said he found something. And he said, came in and felt good. I mean, Eric, he almost had a 3 home run game. What an exciting game. This is the Astros baseball we were expecting to get in 2024.
And not just in today's game. You've seen him have a lot better hits ever
Right.
since he's been dropped in the order. And this is what I've been saying the Astros need to do. There's too much pressure on him. He already has the pressure of trying to get this big contract, the $300 million or whatever he's trying to get. And now you have the pressure of him trying to hit the 5-run home run. It's a mental thing. And now you put him down in order and he's like, crap, how am I going to get this big time deal hitting down here? Nobody's going to want a 6th place hitter to do this. And so he's earned his way back up to the number 4 spot or number 5 spot, wherever he batted today. I guess he batted 6 still, but yeah, so he's still there. So, but he raised his OPS from 4, I have it in my notes, but it was like from 499 to 615 in this one game. It's impressive just what you could do with one game.
Well, and look, that's the thing with Alex Bregman. It's not like we're expecting him to do something he hasn't done before. We really have longed for. I mean, let's just be honest. Bregman, the slow starter we know he is, when he was second in the AL MVP race that year, which I still think he probably should have won the MVP. Of course, I'm biased. But this is a guy that grinds. You can tell he cares. You can tell he gets frustrated when he doesn't get on base. You can tell he hates it when he pops up. And that's what you have to do with baseball. Baseball can go wrong for you for 15 straight days. and then just start clicking, and then you go on a run. Now, does this mean the Astros go on some crazy win streak? I don't know. Does this mean Bregman hits 2 home runs every single game? No, it doesn't. But these are the things that these are feathers you put in your cap as a baseball player, because the game of baseball is built around really getting over discouragement, getting over mistakes. That's why hitting 30% of the time gets you into the Hall of Fame. But Alex Bregman is one of the key veterans on this team, one of the guys that the other players look up to. And if Bregman gets going, league, you've been put on warning, because if Bregman gets going, Jeremy Pena's already been going. Altuve's already been going. Tucker's already been going. I mean, Jake Myers, when he's in the game, is going. I look, dude, Caratini got going. I mean, this team has potential to just take off.
Yes, I would correct myself. It was actually 534 to 615. That's still very impressive in a matter of 4 at-bats. And so the 2 home runs, he doubled his home runs, or I guess he times 2. But it's just impressive what the impact he's able to have in the game. He's not just a great defensive player. He has a bat. And yes, he took advantage of hanging sliders to hit those home runs today. But still, this is the same Bregman that would strike out on those sliders earlier in the season. So you're seeing him having the more confidence, and the Astros will go where Alvarez goes and where Bregman goes. And if these 2 guys are hitting again, we'll talk about Alvarez in a second. Once we talk about Jeremy Pena not getting any respect, you're like, wait, what are you talking about? He's getting a lot of respect. I'll tell you what I meant about that in a little bit. But I think that if Bregman gets going, this means nothing but good things for the Houston Astros. Yeah. And Brett, I know you talked about in yesterday's show, the Astros were 5-6 yesterday. Now they are at 500 in May. Yeah, they have reached 500. So baby steps, guys. Baby steps.
They are at 500. And look, I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. I'm really not. But I'm going to have to look at our friends across the great state of Texas and look at the Texas Rangers, because the Texas Rangers in the month of, we're going with May, right? In the month of May, have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, and they've only won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. So they are 6-7. They are under 500, where the guys up top, they better watch it, because the objects in mirror may be closer than they appear. The Astros now again go to 16-25. We are closer to Oakland. And I said it the other day, I don't think that the Astros reach a relevant story topic to be talked about until they pass the Oakland A's. I think they have to earn that. I think everybody across the country knows who they are, and it starts with guys like Spencer Arrighetti too, Eric. Spencer Arrighetti has actually not pitched terrible, but he has been giving up a lot of runs. And what did he do tonight? Give up 2 runs. I mean, this kid looked excellent. And Spencer Arrighetti is every bit the young flamethrower, the young starter that we thought and that we were told he was going to be. And, Eric, he really has had a lot of pressure to deal with, because everybody else around him, the veterans, outside of a couple veterans, either are injured or have been inconsistent. So for him to come in tonight, throw 5 innings, he did give up 5 hits, but only 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. He lowered his ERA to 7.52, and he gets his first major league win. Congratulations, Spaghetti Arrighetti tonight.
And he struck out all 5 batters with his curveball. He had great command of his curveball, which is a good compliment to his fastball. The change of speed is something that Roy Oswalt was really good at. So I think that if this is something that he's able to master, we don't know how long he has up in the major leagues, because Jose Altuve, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but he is due to come back at some point in the near future. So the Astros are already going with the 6-man rotation. So is Spencer Arrighetti going to be the odd man out? At least at this point, he got his first victory. He's not going to go down 0-4 or 0-5, because that would be kind of deflating. But now he has his first major league victory, and that's a big thing. And we'll talk about what happened with Julian Morales in a second. We'll talk about what happened between Ross Stripling and Jose Altuve, and Bregman. Did he get his revenge? We'll talk about that in a second. You have to do it.
Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for your first deposit match of up to $100. We know that baseball is in full swing. The Astros are getting back into the swing of things, and Prize Picks is here for you. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks, and you can join the world's best players in the game to hit the next level with basketball and NHL playoffs with guys like LeBron James, Shohei Ohtani, Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, Connor McDavid, and so many more. The best way to get in the action in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia, is through Prize Picks. Even community plays, you can play alongside guys like Meek Mill and Sugar Shane O'Malley. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types that makes Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions and special offers. It now offers Apple Pay, which I use for quick and easy deposits into your account and during this basketball season. So make sure you go to the app today, download it, use the code LOCKEDONMLB for your first deposit match up to $100. Remember, pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, and go and subscribe to us on YouTube. Make us your first listen. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Go and check out Mike O'Connor on the Locked On Astros postcast as well. I have a feeling that we're going to be talking about a lot more better Astros games in the near future, and we're seeing a bullpen that's kind of coming around a little bit. And go and check out all the play-by-play action on Sirius XM. Just download the app and search Astros. You can hear all the play-by-play action. So, Brett, I know that we all remember what happened in 2017, but we'll talk about that in a second. But I want to talk about what Julia Morales and her friend Jennifer, I think Jenny Kavnar did today. Right. So Jenny Kavnar just recently took over the play-by-play calling for the A's, and there's other play-by-play calling female callers out there, but this was the first time that you've had it like a female play-by-play caller going out there. And so you had Todd Callis. It's kind of switch roles in this situation, and so I thought that was pretty cool that the Astros and sports what is it called, Space City
Home Network,
and they made this possible. And so I believe this is the first time that this has happened, and this is a big step in having women doing play-by-play calling. So I think this was good. I know Julia Morales admitted that she was nervous, and Ryan Presley gave her some tips before the game. And I know that Alex Bregman is probably wanting her to do every play-by-play, so he'll hit 2 home runs. But she did a pretty good job. And so Todd Callis was a little bit overwhelmed trying to do everything she does, and missed the photo op with Alex Bregman on the second home run. But oh well.
No, yeah, she actually commands quite a lot of different things. She multitasks. I think that's her personality. Todd Callis is more the straightforward, calling the game, paying attention to one thing at a time. From the booth, you got a lot better stand. It's like Todd Callis said, the only play I can see is the play at first base. I can't really see anything else. And so, yeah, that was a great thing. I did a little mashup between that and the HEB commercial, and I threw it up on X with the Orbeta commercial where they're speaking Spanish and Bregman yelling and Julia making the call. That was actually fun to watch. But dude, Jeremy Pena is batting cleanup, and I'm gonna answer this because Supreme Panda asked this question. He goes, "What does the term cleanup mean?" Well, the term cleanup means the person in the 4-hole typically gets up in an ideal situation where you have at least 2 or 3 men on base. And the reason why it's called cleanup is because the 4th hitter is either going to hit a home run and clean the bases, or he's going to hit an extra base hit and clear the bases by getting on base. So that's why he's called the cleanup hitter? Baseball 101. Thanks for asking, but that's why I wanted to answer, because you said you didn't understand that term. But look, Pena, he's not really getting, like you said, a whole lot of respect. But you're talking about this hit by pitch 2017. I honestly don't recall. Was this when Ross Stripling was talking about wanting to hit the Astros or something like that? Is that what we're talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is back in 2021. Ross, actually, he was starting for the Blue Jays.
Right.
And this was back in 2021 or 2022 or something. He said he was asked if he would throw at the Astros in the wake of the sign stealing scandal. He said, I would lean toward yes in the right time and place. But Stripling didn't face the Astros in 2020. I don't know if he's faced them since. But Dusty Baker, after these comments, actually at the time asked MLB Baseball to kind of look ahead and try to put a stop to this premeditated hit by pitch retaliation type stuff. And so in this game, Ross Stripling hit Altuve with the 0-2 sinker, and it was just right in the hamstring. It looked like it hurt really bad. And it just was, I'm not saying it was intentional, but everybody was talking before the game. Is this the game that Stripling kind of actually follows through with his promise?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, if that guy held on to that for that long, then
he got cheated at World Series, remember, in his head.
Oh, well, Ross Stripling's problem is not being on the Oakland A's, who will end up being in last place. I guess his biggest problem is Altuve. But what I love is Jose Altuve basically wheeled around the bases and scored after getting plunked in the back of the leg. So that to me was, okay, hit the guy. And what do? You hurt him. You hurt him back by not throwing at him. You hurt him by scoring that run. And those kinds of things is what this club needs. And this club's motivated by it. It's, keep booing all the negativity. I really have a hard time thinking that a grown man, Ross Stripling, still is hanging on to that. I really have a hard time. But you're on the Oakland Athletics. You're not contending for a title. You are a division rival, but your irrelevancy is at an all-time high, Ross Stripling. If that was tonight intentional, which I didn't even think about it, whatever. But dude, let's talk about Pena. I thought he was supposed to be hitting second. I was told that I would thank somebody for him hitting second, because he's going to return to second. And we're going to thank him and blah, blah, this. And well, you know what? He's hitting fourth still. He's hitting fourth and he's having a lot of success. I'm not talking about you. Right. I'm talking about somebody else in the media making this big hubbub about how they were going to go on live and Discord and everything and tell everybody that I told you so. Well, he's still hitting fourth and he's doing a pretty damn good job of it.
I still think that Jeremy Pena should be batting second. I think Tucker's a better person batting fourth, a better cleanup hitter. He has a more ability to drive in the runs. We see him, and I told you, I've been telling you all for the past 2 years, I don't think we've seen the best Kyle Tucker, and I think we are seeing the best Kyle Tucker right now. He's leading the league in home runs, unless Ohtani or somebody hit a home run today, but I think we're seeing the best Kyle Tucker right now. And we're also seeing the best Jeremy Pena, the most all-around player. I think that we're seeing somebody who's making good contact, who's just playing good baseball.
So why would you flip them? Why would you flip them if they're playing their best ball? Tucker hitting second, Jeremy hitting fourth. Why would you flip them?
Because I don't think those two are players that doesn't matter. That's what I've been saying, because Jeremy Pena is more prototypical number two hitter. That's why Dusty Baker had him batting second when he was that high up in lineup. He batted second, just because he has ability to get on base and he has the ability to steal, to run, to do all that. I'm not saying Kyle Tucker doesn't, but Kyle Tucker, you put the description of what a cleanup hitter is. Kyle Tucker is that.
Right.
So I'm not saying that, but in this situation, we saw Jeremy Pena today get no respect. You have Yordan Alvarez, who is in the middle of a terrible slump, get intentionally walked to pitch to Jeremy Pena to put runners on first and second with 2 outs. Jeremy Pena put up a heck of a bat. I think he hit a line drive right to the center fielder or something like that. But at the same time, that seemed to waken the bat of Alvarez. And Alvarez had line drive after line drive from the rest of the game. So I think Alvarez, that kind of woke up Alvarez's bat. And so he's like, oh, people still think I'm good. So let me go out and play good. Because I think that this is mental with some of these players. I think that with Tucker, he's shown he can hit anywhere. You had some guys take the day off. He hit cleanup. He hit second. He can hit fourth. He hit third. It doesn't matter where Tucker is. He's going to hit. Pena, he's moved all up and down the lineup. He's continuing to hit. I just think that the best roster construction is him hitting second and then Tucker hitting fourth. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, my thing is though, my only pushback on that, it makes perfect sense. I'm not saying what you're saying is nonsensical because it does make sense. But at some point, I think this lineup has to settle where it is. I mean, even if it means Bregman hitting where he's hitting right now, I don't think it matters where Bregman hits when he's hot.
No,
I don't look. I mean, why wouldn't you want a Bregman at 6? Why wouldn't you want Bregman at 6? But, you know, in our last segment, we're going to give an update on Arrighetti and Chaz. We're going to talk about this new StatCast bat speed stat that Baseball Savant has rolled out. This episode is brought to you by Policy Genius. Check life insurance off your to-do list in no time. Head to policygenius.com/LockedOnMLB. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million in coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. You may have discovered that your work life insurance, which is good, it just doesn't cover enough for everything you need. With Policy Genius, they help you compare your options across the board. They have an award-winning team of agents that walk you through the process step by step. And if you're like me and you don't know a ton about the process, they can help you get set up. There's no incentive for them to recommend one insurer over another. You can trust their guidance. Thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot from customers who found the best fit for their needs. So check life insurance off your to-do list today with Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com/LockedOnMLB or click on the link in the description and get your free insurance quotes for life insurance and see how much you can save. That's policygenius.com/LockedOnMLB.
All right, guys, thank you for making the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Go and check out Michael Connor on the Locked On Astros postcast. He does a great job. All the post-game analysis. We normally come on right afterwards. Go and check us out both on your Amazon Fire TV stick. You can go ahead and search the free channels app and you can watch all of us. And you can watch Locked On Sports Today. It's all the news you need to know when you need to know it 24/7. So Brett, I know that we're just kind of wrapping up on Pena, and I think that Pena is finally developing into that player that the Astros need him to be. But I think that a lot of us expected Chas McCormick once Dusty Baker kind of left, retired, got out of the way. He would take off the training wheels and finally become the big boy.
Stop serving banana pudding.
Yeah, become the big boy. But unfortunately, it was a situation where he's not quite having the season he wanted. But he went on IL and he had his first stint on IL and he was 2 for 5 in his first game. He had a hard hit double down the gap. And he said that he felt really good after it. And so the leg feels good. And he said that he feels like he's going to need a few games. We have Loperfido, who's hitting pretty good since he is striking out a lot, but we knew that was going to happen. But he is hitting 300.
He's got 9 hits and 28 at bats. I mean, you can't argue with that. Look, here's the thing, Eric. You've got Jake Myers, who last night I made the case for him, 20 hits and only 70 at bats, where the other guys have 140 something at bats. And look, Jake Myers could be one of the leading guys on this team hit wise. You got Jake Myers, who I think is hitting and fielding well. You've got Joey Loperfido, who is taking really good at bats. You got Mauricio Dubon, who hasn't been getting in many games lately, but is a surefire guy. And look, he can come off the bench and go 2 for 2 or 3 for 3. I mean, Jake did that the other day in place of Cabbage. So when he comes back, what do we do? Who gets jostled? Who gets moved down? All that stuff, because we know the other moves they made the other day. But it's good to get Chaz back, and it'll be good to get a healthy Chaz back. I think we've got an outfield that if they do decide to trade at the trade deadline, we have enough pieces that are doing well enough that you would be able to trade somebody and you wouldn't
like
be
Kyle Tucker.
No, come on, Eric. Oh, Eric, stop. No, but Jose Urquidy, they said that I think he threw like 50 pitches. And then Joe Espada said that his next goal is to get 70 pitches. And then once he does that they will see where they are with him. So I expect Urquidy to come back possibly in the second leg of this homestand, because we're on a 9-game homestand, and then we go on the road for a long time.
Yeah. So the question is, what happens when Urquidy comes back? The Astros are already on a 6-man rotation. They're in the middle of a long stretch where they have hardly any days off. They're playing 20 games in 21 days. So they're already going to be shorthanded. So if you have any starts where the Astros have a pitcher that, I hate to say it, but Hunter Brown's it, where you only last 2/3 of an inning.
Like
the Astros, yes, like Hunter Brown. It's going to hurt the Astros because they are playing shorthanded in the bullpen because of their situation. They can always pull in a starter the next, depending on who it is, and kind of cover that, then call somebody up in the bullpen. But it's just a situation where they've made this decision, and then when Jose Urquidy comes back, they're gonna have to make another decision, because Urquidy is a valuable piece to this rotation if he's pitching well. And then at some point in July, like you keep on mentioning, I know people don't want to hear it, but Lance McCullers is going to be knocking on the door, and I'm not talking about HEB delivery. I'm talking about possibly pitching. So there's going to be a lot of different decisions the Astros have to make. And so I think Spencer Arrighetti took the right step forward, and he looked like a major league pitcher today. The first time, I mean, I think he's had a couple good starts. This is his first time where he actually looked like he can possibly stay as a major league pitcher.
So my thing is this, I assume Cabbage goes down whenever Chaz comes up. And I assume the odd man out here pitching wise is going to be Arrighetti. You're not going to send down Brown because he holds a little bit more veteran, a little bit more service time than Arrighetti. He's been in there for, I mean, look, some people talked about sending Hunter Brown down to try to maybe fix his stuff, but then he comes out in relief and crushes it when he doesn't go in the first inning. So Arrighetti, because he's the least senior on the staff, would go down, but he's not going to go down because, oh, I'm sorry, kid. And I think the way you talked about it in the beginning of the program was, if you go down, it's on a high note. You got your first win. We know you can do it. It's not a demotion. We just don't got room, kid. And so that is a huge confidence booster, and he'll be able to continue to build his confidence in AAA. And I promise you, though, Arrighetti will be back up if he does go back down because Urquidy's a rival.
All right, breaking news. MLB has added another streaming partner. So get out your pocketbook. Actually, this one's going to be free. It's going to be on Roku. For those of y'all that don't have a Roku device, I'm sure there's a Roku channel on your whatever device you have. But yeah. So, but the Astros will have one game, and it's the Astros June 2nd home game against the Twins is now at 12:05 because it's going to be streamed on Roku. And so this is another option. So for those of y'all that don't have cable, this is your chance to watch the Astros. So this thumbs up
or
for free.
Go to Game Time.
Yeah, go Game Time and use the code Locked On MLB, and you can go watch the game.
That's right, for $20 off your first purchase. Hey, Eric, what a good start to the homestand. You win coming home. You win a series coming home. You now win your first game against the Oakland A's. People are like, but it's the Oakland A's. Well, but you know what? The Oakland A's are in front of you right now, and they're currently been playing better baseball. So it's about time you get off your duffs and get your head out of the sand. And the Astros absolutely did that. Caratini, we got to give him his flowers defensively, Eric.
Oh, he threw out that guy that everybody thought was going to be stealing.
Yeah, I know. Man, Caratini did a phenomenal job behind the plate. Also got in the mix in the offense a little bit tonight too. So it was really, from top to bottom, a really, really good game. This team needs wins like this, and this team needs to stack some consistent at-bats, consistent back-end pitching. Someone asked earlier, why wasn't Hader in for the ninth inning? It was a non-safe situation. They're not going to put Hader in a game like that. It would have had to been a 5-2 game. Had it stayed 5-2, Taylor Scott would have sat down and Hader would have been rolled out there. And Taylor Scott, 3 strikeouts. What a game. Everybody, the whole Astros team is my player of the game, Eric.
Yes, and I know StatCast has a new stat that they're tracking. It is bat speed. And I was looking at something that somebody put out today, and is looking at the average bat speed compared to the squared up swing percentage. And the Astros are actually at the top of like 28% of the squared up. So they're making good contact, but they're kind of in the middle of the pack at the bat speed. So I think that would explain a lot of the situations the Astros are doing. So Astros just need to go out there, win some more games against the A's, take care of business. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey. We are the Locked On Astros podcast, and we will see you tomorrow. Go Astros.